Welcome back to Cook It Simple with Eric. Today we are going to be making fried apples with ginger ale. I like using ginger ale because sometimes once you cut your apples up, you have them in the bowl, they start turning brown. We don't want that. You can put lime juice, lemon juice, anything acidic in the bowl to mix it around to help with that browning of the apples, to keep them from browning. I like to use ginger ale, just gives a little extra sweetness to the apples, let them soak in a little bit. We will be adding just a little bit, maybe 1/8 of a cup to the mixture here in a little bit. So what we need to get started is a big cast iron skillet or some big skillet of your choice. I like this one. This was an old Griswold from probably 1930s, 1940s that I actually found at a yard sale. Rusty as can be, pitted. I've restored it and I still use it to this day. I think I paid $5 for it. So great skillet. So we will need 6 apples. I like to do 2 Granny Smith apples because they're tart. And then I like to do 4, I think, Gala apples because they're tart and sweet. So that's going to be our apples. Of course, we're going to use some ginger ale. Some people put vanilla in it. I haven't, but we're going to try it this time. Of course, we're going to need about 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, maybe a little more. Just depends on how it tastes. We'll cinnamon to taste. 1/2 cup of regular granulated sugar. We're going to use 1/4 cup of your brown sugar. I used a light brown sugar. We're going to use 1/2 cup of butter. And then, of course, our tools to get started. So first thing I need to do is start peeling and coring our apples. Let's get to it. So the first thing we need to do is we need to peel and core our apples. I suck at this, but here we go. So I have a nice peeler. I just peel down, you can peel around. This is not my favorite thing to do, but it needs to be done. Like I said, I know some people go round and round, try to keep the peel all attached and make a little game of it, which it's all fun. Now on this recipe, you can, if you don't want to peel them, you can actually just leave the peels on, just core them, do it that way. I know some of you know fried apples from a certain restaurant, and I think they leave the peels on it. I can do it either way, but I know most people that I cook for don't want the peels on, so I just peel them. All right. Get this out of the way here. So we just quickly peel them that away. So there's several ways you can do this. You can actually use a core and do it that way. Me, I simply just swipe down. Let these guys take off on you, or girls. There you go. Then you're going to want them about maybe 1/4 inch thick. The thinner you make them, the less time you have to cook, but I think they stay better a little thicker like that. So that's the way we're going to do ours. I think they cook up better. Because if you get them too thin, they can turn to mush, and you don't want applesauce, you want fried apples. So we'll do that, and then I'll show you what I do here real quick. I have my big bowl here, stainless steel bowl, whatever bowl that you want. take your ginger ale. We'll use this twice in this recipe. Throw your apples in. Don't forget to feed Stuart. He loves apples. And green peppers. What kind of dog likes green peppers? He loves them. So we just take our ginger ale, any brand you want. Just dump them in. Then you're going to kind of soak that, and that'll keep your apples from turning brown. Plus give you a little extra sweetness to it. So I'm going to go ahead and do these off camera, so that way you don't have to see me struggle through the peeling process. We'll be back once we get this bowl full. Now that we have our apples peeled, cored, and resting in their ginger ale bath, we're going to turn our attention back to the back. So again, we're going to be using quarter cup brown sugar, about a tablespoon of cinnamon, maybe a little more, half a cup of granulated sugar. I think we're going to try vanilla this time, just a titch, maybe a teaspoon. We're going to try it. Now, this is 4 apples, so I did the 2 large Granny Smiths, then 2 of the smaller Gala apples, because they were pretty big apples. Normally you would do like 6 medium size, but these are pretty big. So I went ahead and cut the other 2 up, put them in ginger ale, put them in here for the fridge, so this will be a snack for Stuart and me later. Plus I can pack it in my lunch for work. We'll grab our butter. Let's get back to the oven. So now that we're at the stove, I've started preheating my pan to kind of get it up to temperature. I've got it on a medium low right now. Just going to get our butter melted in. You can cut it up before you put it in. I just do this. So you're going to want the whole stick. 1 stick of butter is a half a cup. So they have easy measurements on the side. Let's kind of break it up. So the butter is going to melt pretty quick. I've got, like I said, about a medium heat. I decided to do this on the stove instead of the induction burner because I can control it better with the gas. Unlike the induction burner, it can take off on you if you don't watch it. So here we just want to enjoy the cooking process here. So basically you're not really frying the apples, you're more or less sauteing them, getting them tender. So from here, let's go ahead and dump our apples in. Now when we put them in, we don't want to put the ginger ale that they've been soaking it in. That'll be a little too much liquid to start. So we just want to put them in. Nice little layers, like this. Now these will kind of cook down a little bit too. So if it looks like it's a little overcrowded, they'll kind of shrink up just a little bit. So we're going to do this. Now it's probably best to cover it. Now from here I'm going to put the first half cup of the granulated sugar. Let's give it a nice little coat all over. So we're going to let this roll for about 20 minutes. Kind of mix it all in there good. This is just going to give everything a chance to work together, combine together. You definitely want to get the sugar dissolved. So this is the first stage. Like I said, our heat's on medium-low. You can kind of hear everything sizzling in there, the butter. So we've got our half cup of granulated sugar that we've coated on our apples. So let's come back in about 15 minutes and see what it looks like then. We've been at it for about 13 minutes now. I actually turned the heat down just a little bit because, like I said, gas cooks a little faster than the electric, so electric stoves might take a little bit longer to cook. But these, see how they're nice and tender? Kind of get a little flex to them. That is what we want to see. So let's go ahead and add our brown sugar. Scoop a little brown sugar in there. So here, if you don't want brown sugar, you can just go with another 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. I like to do brown sugar, puts a little sweetness to it. Do that. Spread our cinnamon out evenly. Like I said, this is 1 tablespoon. You can go more, you can go less. I like mine cinnamony. So I start with a tablespoon. I think that's probably going to get us right where we need to be as far as cinnamon flavor. Let's go ahead and just do a dash, maybe a teaspoon of vanilla. Whoa, okay, maybe a little more. It won't hurt it any, so let's get this mixed up. We'll probably go for about another, I don't know, 5 minutes. We're going to turn up the heat a little bit here. Try to get all this mixed in. See how we're starting to get a little bit of a little syrup forming. So let's go ahead and put that on a medium. Let's get this cooked down a little bit. Make sure all your apples are coated beautifully. There we go. So this will thicken up here pretty quick. You'll see it right in front of your eyes. There, oh, that is beautiful. So because we can, we're just going to do just a little bit of ginger ale, about 1/8 of a cup. We might have about 2 swallows left in the bottle that we can enjoy now that we're done using it. There we go. So I might actually put just a little more cinnamon in that. Yeah, see how the apples are getting all nice and loose. They're not mush, but they are definitely tender. I'm going to add just a little more cinnamon because I like mine a little heavy on cinnamon. There. Just a little bit. Now at this point, you kind of think, man, this is still thin. Oh, it'll thicken up quick right before your eyes. Look at that. All right, let's give it about another 3 or 4 minutes. It's been 3 minutes. About 3.5 minutes. You can see how that's bubbling and boiling. I think we're going to call it done at this point. The apples are nice and tender. You can see how they're kind of folding over a little bit. You see the bubbling syrup. So once that cools, that is just going to be a delicious syrup with the apples. All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat off. Then we'll reposition, get back with some ice cream and some apples. Now comes the fun part. We get to try it. So I can just have some French vanilla ice cream. We'll just put in the bowl. And we'll get a little more. We'll do that. Now comes the fun part. Now these apples and syrup set up beautifully. You get a scoop. Make sure I get some syrup in there. Yeah, what's a little bit more? hot. That guy's trying to get away. We'll get him in a minute. Okay. There is. Let's see, bring this in just a little bit. If you see it, it's not the prettiest thing, but it is the tastiest. So let's try it. Gotta walk around Stuart. He knows there's treats. Don't you, buddy? All right. Let's get a little bit of this. Little apple. And let's get some syrup on there. All right. Here we go. That is absolutely delicious. If you have a sweet tooth like me, this will solve it for a day. Amazing stuff. All right, thank you again for watching. Thank you for supporting my channel. Please like and subscribe if you're liking what you see. So this was a bonus this week. I was wanting to make a dessert. I had to show you. I had to share with you. So have a good rest of your week. Thank you so much for watching Cook It Simple with Eric again. See you next week. Thank you.